The subsequent 37 synthesizer from Moog is now 10 years old, if you can believe it. But still, it is the most organic and performance-perfect instrument that I've ever had the experience to play. I think it's a player's dream, and it's an incredible sound design machine. Brilliantly designed, perfectly balanced, well-built, and it's single-handedly responsible for the transformation of my studio over the last 18 months because previously I had it filled with virtual analog and digital synths that I used all the time, and plugins and such. And when I started incorporating the Sub 37, it changed everything. The other instruments just couldn't keep up with its sound and its flexibility and its playability. So I slowly and carefully started to remove those digital synths from the studio and replace them with analog behemoths, which has been a wonderful and amazing transformation. But I'm playing out more, outside of the studio more. And when I do that, I need a polysynth. And the Sub 37, of course, is not a poly. And that's a bit of an issue when you're playing out because now you need two instruments. They have to be routed differently. It's ergonomically a challenge. And of course, the Sub 37 doesn't have effects. So in the studio, that's not an issue. But if you want to sound on stage like you're, playing something that's coming in studio ready, so to speak, it needs effects. And that just complicates the live setup tremendously. So what I want to do today is find out, can I use one of my new synthesizers as a surrogate when I play out? And the synth I'm going to choose to try and do that with is my new Groove Synthesis third wave. Why the third wave? Well, first, it's built like a tank. It's very deep and has more capability than just about anything out there outside of the Moog 1. Which is important on the poly side. The question is, can I rein in its power and make it work as a monosynth? It's a deep beast. I'm sure you're aware of it if you're into synthesizers at all. It's a 24 voice, three oscillator per voice, multi-timbral instrument that goes very deep, has a massive mod matrix, almost knob per function. So it's very immediate, very expressive, very elegantly designed, and it has incredible sounding onboard effects. It's also just clean sounding. The signal processing or the signal path inside of it and the DACs that they used are just pristine. It's a new synth for this new company, but it was designed and brought to market by some very experienced people. And that's evident in when you use it. So let's start by listening to a little bit of the Sub 37 in action, and let's see what we're trying to match. So how are we going to limit the third wave's power here? Well, first, we need to just use a single voice. Now, the Sub 37 has three oscillators. It has two real beautiful oscillators and then a sub. We can imitate that architecture instantly with the third wave. Of course, the third wave is a wavetable synthesizer. But it comes with, from Groove Synthesis, it comes with some very high resolution analog models. So we'll start with those. Use the Sawtooth, for example, here in our first lead sound. We've got plenty of LFOs and envelopes that are going to be, very comparable between the two, and they both have very lovely mod matrices. So We should be able to route anything anywhere we want to within reason. So I'm going to now play a little bit on the third wave lead sound that I've created. I'm not trying to match the two sonically, but let's just see what we've got here. Not bad, not bad. It certainly doesn't sound the same. I think the big difference here is the filter. The filter in the third wave was designed by Dave Rossum. It's a classic filter. In fact, it's the same analog filter, and I'm speaking of the analog filter here now. It's the same analog filter that's currently in the Rev 4 Prophet 5 and Prophet 10, the 2140, which is a modern recreation of the 2040. So at any rate, the analog filter sounds incredible, but it doesn't sound like that 6 dB per octave gritty Moog filter that we all love so well. And it doesn't get that quacky resonance magic that happens on the Moog. It's just a softer, better for pads kind of filter, probably. I'm not using the third wave has a digital state variable filter as well. It also sounds amazing, and it's in series with the analog, but I'm not using that. I've just taken that out of the equation for the moment so that we can try to stick with the Moog model. So let me now play a little bit with this sound and try and play over the track that you just heard, and see if we can get it to be as expressive as that Moog is. Of course, this is a wavetable synth, so we can now start to just change the core oscillators and see what we get. Let's do that. So I think this is a pretty good result. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. There's a lot more to explore here too. I haven't even worked with moving the wave sequence through the wavetable. There's all kinds of ways to do that on the third wave. So that's pretty interesting. I'm going to be working on this for a while. Let me know what you think. Is this a reasonable lead synth? Can I make splits and do multi-timbral stuff to make this work on stage? Is it going to be as expressive? I don't know. It feels pretty great. The keyboard feels pretty great. So I'm going to keep at it. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. And until next time, be well.